Cam Atkinson from the Columbus Blue Jackets is joining us. Cam, can you hear us?
Can hear you.
Hey, Cam, welcome. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing? How's the family doing? Everyone's staying safe, I hope, right?
Yeah, no, everyone's safe. Everyone's sound asleep right now, which is always a nice thing to finally get some time to yourself.
Right.
But yeah, no, we're all safe and healthy.
Oh, time to yourself. What is that like?
Well, right now I'm just sitting on the couch,
Yeah,
enjoying some peace and quiet.
nice. So, how's
Um,
fatherhood treating you? How are the kids?
no, it's been great. It's
Yeah.
obviously having all this time off has always been, unprecedented, but I'm taking advantage of just being a dad and enjoying this quality time with my kids for sure.
And are they kind of weirded out in the sense like you're home all the time?
I think they're still too young to really
Yeah.
notice. I mean, I will say Declan, even when I leave to go to the gym or yeah, obviously downtown to go skate, he always gets upset, for like 15 minutes and then he kind of turns the page and he's like, see you later, dad, on to mom.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
Can't is there any sense that a season is going to be starting soon from your perspective, just the things that you're seeing every day?
Honestly, I mean, you would probably know more than I would, to be honest.
Mm.
Uh, I haven't heard anything probably in a week. So I'm not sure if the radio silence is a good thing or a bad thing. I don't
Mm.
know if, both sides are talking around the clock or every day or, it's kind of above my pay grade. So,
Yeah.
I hope that there's a season sooner than later.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. We're just kind of waiting on the news and what might come out of it. And we all just want to get back to normal at some point, but in a safe manner. So hopefully
For sure.
the powers to be will figure that out. Now, speaking of
100%.
preparing for a season, how are you personally preparing? Like, what are you doing every day now? Are you able to go to Nationwide Arena? Are you able to prepare there? Or what else are you doing to get ready for a season?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple things. Obviously I go up to the Battery Hockey Academy
Yeah.
a lot, um, depending on what's going on, but I'm up there maybe twice a week. I was skating there before uh, downtown was open, before the rink Nationwide or the ice house was open for us.
Yep.
So that's where I was skating until we were able to go and get into our locker room and start seeing our therapist and get in the gym and stuff like that, which wasn't up until probably about a month ago, maybe a little bit over a month ago.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, no, I've been skating 3 to 4 times a week, just trying to stay fresh, stay sharp. Just so when we do eventually get that call, be ready to rock and roll.
Are the boys back in town yet, or are there at least a good number of guys back?
Um, there's a decent amount back. I would say maybe a little bit less than half.
Okay.
We had yesterday 8 guys. Elvis just got back, so he was in net. Varensky just got back over the weekend. Um, it's me, Felino, Nash, Bjorkstrand was here, uh, Grigorenko, Savvy. Obviously, Nikos was skating with us until he got the surgery.
Yeah.
Um, Foodie was here. He just went home for a little bit, but he was skating with us every day. I mean, there's
Hmm.
definitely been a good amount of guys here skating and pushing each other. And Gerby just got here, um, and Mateau. So like the list keeps kind of
Kind of growing a
more
little
and more
bit.
guys are starting to trickle in, which is good. It's
Yeah.
good that we're all slowly but surely coming back and pushing each other and just trying to stay competitive.
And that seems that should give you confidence that a season is going to get going. I guess what ultimately gives you the confidence that the powers that be can, safely get a season going.
I mean, the only thing I could think of, um, which I there's which I have hope in is, you see the NFL, um, they're making it work. I actually just read right before I jumped on this with you about the
Yep.
NBA, about the 50 players or whatever that just
Yeah.
tested positive.
Positive. Hmm.
So I mean, it's just one of those things that it is what it is. It's I know people that have gotten it that asymptomatic and really show no symptoms at all. Um, it's I don't know. I just hope
Different.
that they can figure something out where we can start playing sooner than later. Just to, it's hard to really stay mentally engaged and motivated on a daily
Hmm.
basis when you don't hear anything.
Right.
So it's
The radio silence, like you said.
yeah, it's tough, but I mean that's just kind of the mental side where you have to mentally prepare yourself, and that's
Yep.
kind of what Torts has always kind of instilled in us. It's all about the
Was
mental side of the
just
game,
going to
and
bring
this
him
is
up. Were you going, has he been doing that? I know earlier on he was really engaging with you guys. Is that still happening now?
it's different, and just in a sense where you know it's still kind of I would say consider the off season where when I mean I will say that we have a players chat text chain that we text each other pretty much on a daily basis, or people just pipe in or send jokes, or if someone's heard some news or whatever it is. But I mean, I would say when Torts got us all engaged, it was right before playoffs. We knew like that we were actually playoffs were right around the corner.
Hmm.
So there was kind of a light at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, it's just weird. It's just I guess 2020, right? It's just
Tough.
crazy times, man.
It
Crazy,
really
crazy.
is. Like brutal honesty for a second. It finally hit me about the no hockey on Black Friday,
Yeah.
because that's normally the time I think the Blue Jackets have played for the last 5 Black Fridays at Nationwide Arena. It always became a little bit of a tradition, and you guys always did well on that game. And that was like, oh my gosh, there's no hockey on Black. There's no 1 o'clock game. There's no 7 o'clock game. This is really weird. And
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, for me, I mean, I've been playing pro, well, at least here for 10 years now. So like,
yeah,
when you start revving up your skates in August, towards the end of August and definitely September, um, just because obviously training camp starts in September, but
hmm,
like when you need to turn that switch on, and then like you're just prepared for it. Like your body, it's like it just like remembers like it's okay, it's go time now. And like and it's funny because like Nick and I always talk. We talk on a daily basis,
hmm,
and
yep,
around that time we were like, you just have the itch. When we got eliminated from the playoffs, I went home for a week and then came back and I started training right away. Typically, I'd
yeah,
take like a month off, or at least a couple weeks to 3 weeks of like not doing a single thing.
hmm,
Um, Even when I was home for a week in Connecticut, I mean, I still played tennis and I was still active.
yeah,
And then as soon as I got back here, like I got right back into the swing of things because I was like, I need to be ready. Like I have like that fire to keep going.
yeah. Yeah, that's, and kind of looking at the season, I know last season was tough, injuries and not your best, that I think you would admit that. What what can we expect this season? I know this is a tough question because we don't know when the season is going to start, but it seems like you started the training early, and it seems like that you're confident that you're really going to be able to contribute. And adding Max Domi to this team, if you get the chance to play with him, I think that's a huge boost for your club.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it started before playoffs. I knew my regular season wasn't great. I showed signs of obviously some good things, and I just it was just one of those seasons where you just kind of turn the page. And I was so excited to come back um, from the second time I got injured on my ankle, and
Hmm.
sure enough, that I was getting ready to play. I was coming to the rink, and that was the day we were supposed to play Pittsburgh, and that's when they canceled the season. So I mean,
Yep.
it's just like the highs and the lows of that season were just I've never experienced before. And in a way, I'm almost glad that the season kind of was halted because my ankle definitely was not ready.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like I still feel it. I still feel
Mm.
my ankle. Doesn't really affect me on the ice at all, but uh, sometimes in the gym, if I'm doing jumps or certain things, it just kind of aches a little bit. But a nice thing is it doesn't affect me on the ice.
Mm.
Um, but I mean, I got myself prepared for playoffs, and I think I showed that in the playoffs.
Yep.
Um, putting a point in a game,
Clearly.
even though I just got banged up a little bit, and just it was a lot of hockey in a short period of time, and to jump right into playoffs without playing any games, for me, it was 6 months, 5 to 6 months without playing a game. So when
Yeah.
you mix in Torts' training camp and just a lot of skating and a lot of high intensity hockey, but I felt really good in the playoffs. I felt like I was contributing, but as the
Mhm.
games went on, especially the last couple, I felt like I had my speed, my quickness. I wanted the puck,
Yep.
and it's for me, it's a mindset as well. And I've been preparing for the season, so like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready for this to start, and to get back to my ways and to continue what I did in the playoffs and better, and just play with swagger. And obviously,
Yep.
adding a guy like Max Domi, very offensive skilled guy. Um, he's definitely he could score goals. He's just as good of a goal scorer as he's a passer, but he's definitely a pass first guy.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm looking forward to playing with a guy that has that edge, that fire, that compete to kind of also bring me and drag me into the fight. I think I need that. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to get an opportunity to play with him.
Yeah. And it seems like the team is really on the way up too. The way that the playoffs worked out, getting a 5-game win against Toronto, obviously job well done. Then Tampa, all close games though. I mean, if they could have gone either way, especially if you win the 5 overtime game, who knows what in the world happens. But does that give your team the confidence to know that you were able to, not only beat Toronto in Toronto the way you did, but you were able to perhaps give Tampa Bay the toughest games of the playoffs?
Yeah, I don't think we get enough credit for that series. You know, it, Obviously they deserve to win and win the cup. They had the team to do it. There's no question.
Yeah,
I'm not saying we should have won the series, but the 4-1 outcome definitely wasn't a four to
misleading.
one outcome. I mean,
Yeah.
look at all, like you said, the overtime games that really, even in Toronto, I mean, those games could have gone either way. Just one bounce your way or one bounce the other team's way, and unfortunately, we didn't get the bounces we needed. I think the last two games against Tampa were our two best games. Like, we absolutely dominated and
Yep.
controlled the whole play. But sometimes the hockey gods work in the other favor, and no matter how good you're playing and how much you
Mhm.
can control the play, it's like one little turnover, one bad bounce off a skate, and it's in the back of your net. And it's pretty deflating, but everything happens for a reason, and
Yep.
we'll definitely learn from that experience. And the young guys are getting a little older. They all got to experience playoff hockey or somewhat of whatever you want to. It definitely was playoff hockey. I mean, the intensity was there.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I mean, we're ready to go.
Yep. And Cam Atkinson joining us here, and we'll get to the good part. It is you're just you're a community champion. You always have been, and just want to give you an opportunity to kind of promote what you're doing now. But I first wanted to ask you how the virtual 5K, just how did that all end up, and just what was the end result of that tremendous event that you put on in June?
Yeah, I mean that was amazing. That was actually um, so I guess I would say one of my partners with the Force Network Fund. My uncle and I were the ones that started, but a really good family friend that lives in Columbus, Mark and Amanda Gernert.
Yeah.
Their kids play hockey.
Hmm.
They're involved with CBJ very highly. And he was in the military, and sure enough, his wife was like, with all that's going on, why don't we do a virtual 5K? Um, and I mean, I thought that was the most brilliant idea ever. I mean, I never even thought
Right.
about doing that. And we actually put that together really quick, probably 2 days. And then we only had a month, maybe just over a month to promote it on social media,
Hmm.
and to raise over $40,000 and have so many people around the world participate and want to be a
Uh,
part of it. And you had the, media kind of challenging each other and players kind of going back and forth. And we really wanted to make it fun. We wanted to make it where you're with your family, um, where you can get outside the house and get some fresh air. And we weren't looking for record numbers. We just wanted you to feel like you accomplished something, and knowing that all that money, 100% was going toward a rapid COVID machine that is being used in Riverside Hospital,
mm,
with Ohio Health. And I actually just got some facts about the machine. actually 3 days ago. So since day one, since inception, since that machine was purchased, they've been seeing from day one 50 to 150 people every day. You get your test results back within 15 minutes, I believe, and the
Wow,
results are 95 to 99% accurate.
it's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, I want to say it cost I think 50 to 70 bucks to get the test done.
Mhm.
And I forget the number, um, the overall number from start to finish, like to today, how many people have used the machine, but it's thousands and thousands. It was pretty
Amazing.
remarkable, to find out some of the information, which obviously, to my email, I could definitely share it with you
Yeah,
after I'm
please
done with
do.
this.
Yeah,
But just to know that you know, it's keeping the healthcare workers and frontline workers safe and the patients safe, and you get your results back so quick. Um, just knowing that it's being put to great use and saving people's lives. I mean, that's what it's all about.
yep.
And it wasn't just me; it was everyone that participated, which is awesome.
Yeah, it really was just the banter back and forth. Just
Yeah.
you and Felino have the greatest Twitter banter sometimes too.
We've been best buddies for a long time. So it's easy to throw jabs at each other, knowing that we could say whatever we want. We know how to push each other's buttons to a certain extent without really crossing the line. But far enough where we kind of keep the fans excited and on their toes.
I was gonna say, you still up for calling fans and offering season tickets or whatnot, and having Felino fake call you? I think that's the best moment you two have ever had.
Honestly, I'm still looking for a way to get him back. And I was, it's it. I should give more crap to Todd Chirac,
Oh boy,
because he's the one who set it all up. Um,
mastermind.
it was I was in the zone during
Yeah,
that
you
day.
were.
Like
You
I was,
were
it was
there.
bright and early. I was
Yep.
getting ready to go play golf, had a couple cups of coffee, and I talked to probably 12 people uh before Tony Mazza, Nick Foligno jumped on the horn and called me. So like I knew what I was gonna, every call was the same sort of thing. Like I was just trying to give you a little pep talk and
Yep.
boost your confidence. And like if you weren't getting your tickets back, what can we do to get that? Can I come meet you? Can I, personally, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
So I didn't even recognize his voice, and I probably should have, but
Right.
um, I
Yeah.
it's that'll haunt my dreams for the rest of my life, I guess.
Yeah, and can't wait to see what you come up with to get him back. That'll be the fun
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
Now, but speaking of the things, you're obviously in that you were calling fans, but I see that you've been doing some work with Cameo as of late. What's going on there, and what do you hope to accomplish?
Yeah, you know what? My good buddy Jared Gladstone, who runs the Athlete Assists, he's in charge of kind of helping me with marketing and branding. He actually was the one who came up with the idea to really engage fans right now. Everyone has a lot of time on their hands, and what better way than to interact with fans? For them to kind of get to know you on a more personal level,
Hmm.
knowing that all that money too, 100% of the proceeds that I get from that, which we've raised in just over a week, around 3,500 bucks, which I know it's not millions of dollars, but still, I mean, every dollar adds up and it goes a long
Hmm.
way.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, that I'm able to kind of interact with fans, and knowing that obviously all the money is going to go back to local Columbus restaurants and businesses that are really struggling during this time. And
Yeah.
there's a lot, and I wish I could help every single one out. But perfect example, and I'm sure you're well aware of, is our bar, right?
Oh, absolutely. The bar. That is the hockey
Yep,
bar.
yep.
Now,
So
can fans do anything to get a Cameo with you at this point, or how can they do that?
yeah, so I mean, I believe you might have to have the download the app, which is free.
Okay.
And then you just request me. There's thousands of athletes or celebrities or whatever field But for me, obviously, if you want to chat, you just request. It's $70, to chat. And it's I've gone anywhere. I've talked to anyone from grandparents to kids that are 5 to 6 years old, and everywhere in between. Birthdays and graduations and exams and Thanksgiving and Christmas. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Or just give my kid a pep talk because their season has ended, whether it's hockey or soccer. And they're all bummed out. So what can you do to kind of lift them up? Stuff like that, where it's fun to do those sorts of things, and knowing that maybe that's going to lift that person up. And knowing that money is also going to a great cause.
Yeah, and I will share that too after this interview. I will put that out there about how they can request you and how all that works with Cameo. So Cam Atkinson here, one final question for you, because I see you got some apparel out there. I see some CA13 action going on. So I know you mentioned it's more than a brand, it's a promise. Can you just go over what that is all about and what you're doing there?
Yeah, I mean, that was also Gladstone. So 614 Hockey actually came up and helped me design this logo. I want to say probably maybe a little less than a year ago. And we wanted to incorporate, my philanthropy work with the Force Network Fund, which kind of the stars, you can see the points kind of direct and tell you that it's military. And then we want to kind of incorporate my number, the 13, and have my, CA in it too. So we've got a lot of positive feedback on it. And I really didn't start promoting until recently. And that's also another thing, that 100% of whatever I get is going towards local restaurants and businesses as well. So everything adds up. So obviously the Cameo is one thing. My brand is with the CA13 is another. And it's all going to great things. And I mean, the reason why I really wanted to do this is Columbus is home for me. I've been here 10 years. Both my boys were born at Riverside Hospital here. I have my business with the hockey battery hockey academy in Plain City. I've got 5 more years on this deal. Whatever happens, we plan on living here full time after I'm done playing hockey. So we love it here. This is our home, and I want to give back as much as I can while I'm really in the limelight, in the spotlight with Columbus, and just do my part.
And I'm going to help a little bit too. I'm going to go out and make a purchase tonight. As you said, every little bit helps, and we're going to share all your work through all of our social media channels. Cam Atkinson, we really appreciate your time there. We appreciate the great work that you're doing in the community, because you truly are making a difference. So thank you for the time tonight. We greatly appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. Always fun talking with you.
Yeah, you as well. That was episode 10. We'll talk to you guys next week, and hope you have a great week. Stay safe.